I've always been industrious and creative, so business and projects and that kind of stuff has always been something I've been attracted to. And as a web developer and a graphic designer, I've been part of helping a lot of different businesses get their dream into reality. And maybe you have a dream as well, but you've been sitting on the sideline because starting a business is a little bit intimidating. It involves commitment and risks and, a lot of work. But what I'm going to tell you today is that if you are a believer and you like the life of freedom and, oneness with God, then it may not only be a dream or something that you should consider, but actually a necessity to start your own business in 2025. And I'm going to go through 4 reasons for why you would consider starting a business in 2025. And the first one is quite basic and obvious, but stick with me because the ones that are coming later on you may not have heard anywhere else. So the first reason why you should start a business and why all Christians should start a business in 2025, if you don't have one already, is that it will give you financial independence. And we know that the governments and the different systems in the world are going towards more and more control. And with the digital realm and everything that's going on with that, that means less control and less freedom for us. Now, having the opportunity to earn your own money means that there is no roof of what you can earn, and it is a protection against those rules and regulations that you have less influence on and less flexibility towards if you are not owning the business. Now, if you own a business, there may be regulations that are quite hard to get around, and you are not totally free anyway. But as a business owner, you have more flexibility and more chance of influencing the way that you operate your business, the way that you and your employees have, ability to do different things. Just think about COVID, for example. It put a lot of stress on a lot of people, but those that was working for somebody else, yes, they may not have had the same level of stress, but they did not have freedom. Vaccines and masks and so was not an option, but those who had their own business had a greater opportunity of deciding what was right for them and how to solve the problems. Now, if you are to start a business, I would definitely recommend that you see it through the lens of COVID. That if something similar were to come again, then you would have a solution and a business idea or structure or, the way that you would do the business so that it would be able to survive a situation like COVID. How would you do that? Well, you would do that through having internet-based services or different ways where it's optional or possible for the business to continue even if there is a lockdown, even if you have to do the work from home, or there is, different ways of organizing it. So that is a good filter for you to look at. How could you do this in a way that is sustainable, that would survive a crisis? And yes, we have to assume that there will be new rounds of something similar to COVID. Now, with your own business, you would also be able to make it available for your family, and you could have the opportunity to work together with the people that you love. That means that even though you had to work many hours, you could have the opportunity to spend those hours with the people you want to spend it with anyway. And this is taking us back to the old family business where the family was running it, and it didn't matter that much if it was late hours, simply because it was the people that you wanted to be with that was together in it as a team. Now, the second reason why you would definitely want to consider starting a business in 2025 is that unemployment is rising, and it will continue to rise. And why is that? Well, it is because there is robots and automation taking over so many tasks. And we know that in the future, in the years and decades ahead of us, robots and computers and AI, etc., will replace human tasks in so many businesses and in so many ways. This will mean that there will be less tasks for humans to do. And while we could have had a system where, all the resources were evenly distributed and it would just simply give people more freedom, we know that those who are in control of most of the resources and, those who own the companies that will purchase the AI systems and the robots, etc., they are not there to think about you and me. So this is a situation where you have two options. Either you go into the universal basic income system that is planned for us. That is a universal plan that is not going to be rolled out equally in all countries, etc. But at the essence, at the foundation, the idea is that we're all going to depend on the government and have this paycheck that we cannot live without, and by that or through that we have to also accept their requirements. Now, some may think that this is great, I can get my money every month, I don't have to do anything, and it is freedom. And surely it will be in the beginning. That's how every scam or every trick or every trap starts. It's something free, it's something attractive that you like, but there's a catch to it. So do you think that you would get, and your family and your children and your children's children, do you think that you would get a paycheck every month in generations to come without that liberty or that privilege being used to control you with requirements? I mean, that would be very, very naive to think. My philosophy is that if Hitler would like it, it's not a good idea. And I can tell you this, that if Hitler had this system, if he had the opportunity to give universal basic income to everyone in the world, he'd love it. Because first, he would give it to you. Hey, you're getting free stuff. You get this good life. You don't have to stress. You don't have to think about anything. You don't have to do anything. But then the next phase comes in. Oh, if you want to have your universal basic income, you have to get vaccinated. You cannot eat this and that. You cannot do that. You cannot travel to these places. We have to save the planet. You need to do as we tell you. Otherwise, I'm sorry, we simply cannot afford your universal basic income because you will be a cancer to this planet. So I hope you can see that having your own business that is based on something that could survive COVID or something similar, and it could continue to exist even though robots and AI is taking ground and perhaps taking over to a large degree, that will give you a freedom to actually choose and have the opportunity to say no thank you to universal basic income, which is basically the option that you have from having to submit to their requirements. So if you are skeptical to that kind of stuff, just like I am, it is definitely the time to start thinking of what kind of business could I start. And surely you don't have to start full-time. You can start something on the side and let it grow forth bit by bit. That is the wise way to do it, but you should not wait a lot or a long time because it is due. Things are moving rapidly and it is not time to think that everything's going to be okay and I don't need to do something. It is definitely time to start moving things and doing something. And speaking of that, I've just created a free mini course. It is for those people who have a dream embedded in their hearts, or they have a calling, a dream, like a purpose that they want to fulfill. And that's why I've created the free mini course, so that I may help people who has a purpose and feel the desire to get help. Where do I get started? How can I make it a reality, etc. So there's going to be a link below. You check it out if that is for you. Now, the third reason why you would want to start a business in 2025 is that there is a new economic system that is being implemented these days. I'm pretty sure you've heard about the CBDC and quantum financial system and that kind of stuff. And both of those are different alternatives to the old system. The old system is dying, the petrodollar and the structures that were around it, that is dying, and in comes something new. And exactly what it's going to be, it may not be determined yet, but we knew there's a new stage, and with that comes new pitfalls, new systems. And don't even go into the trap of assuming that just because Trump or somebody you like is part of this, like Elon Musk and that kind of people, yes, they speak so nicely and they're gonna be the heroes that come and help you and everything's gonna be so nice. But isn't that what our leaders have been doing all the time? And yes, I like so much of what these people are doing. They are exposing darkness and they are bringing in light and good stuff. So it seems very nice, but that is exactly what the tactics and the strategic leaders are doing. They are solving one problem to become the hero, so that you will say, come, save me. Yes, I want to do it your way. And then you buy into their solution that is a solution to a problem that was created to get you onto their boat. Now, there's going to be good stuff again, just like the universal basic income. Of course, there's going to be carrots and free stuff and nice things. But down the road, there's going to be strings attached, and there's a catch to it, because they are not doing this to really, really just help you. They are doing it because there's a plan and they have something in mind. Now, with the CBDC or the quantum financial system or whatever is taking over, there will most likely be new strings attached that you haven't thought of yet. And while you may have been consumed by, all the revelations and exposure of the bad system, the law of the sea and the law of the land, and how they tricked us into the system with birth certificates and all of that kind of stuff, which is fantastic that it's being revealed, but what you don't see is the new terms and requirements that comes with a new system. That is not being revealed to you, and the reason why you get to hear about the old scam is because it is old. It is no longer what is going to be holding you in chains. It is not the new prison. So by that, people are tricked into walking directly into a new, fresh, brand, attractive prison with strings attached and a catch that is perhaps even worse than what they had earlier. So just be aware of that. Don't be blind and naive. So then you may ask, how is me getting a business going to help in regards to this new economic and financial system? Well, there's a few reasons for that. You, with a business, will be able to have a cash flow. There may be real values that will keep their value regardless of inflation, regardless of restrictions, regardless of the requirements, etc. that comes with universal basic income, etc. There's reason to believe that the elite and the government does not want us to have property, and that would also include savings. And we can already see this from, savings accounts, etc., that through inflation and hyperinflation, the values that you have in your bank is actually decreasing, and it is not a good place. Some banks, more and more banks, are actually charging their people to keep their money. And so we can see in more and more ways it is not paying off to us as the ordinary people to actually save and to keep our money as savings. And for that reason, it is important for you to have cash flow vehicles. When that is a business and things like that, it's real values that are generating more and more and more, a little bit every month. And that will be a way for you to get through some of the crises that may be coming. We don't know enough yet. We just know that with a business and with your own financial independence and the freedom to say no to universal basic income, etc., you are better positioned to keep your values and your fortune, whatever you have, and to build up something more and make it flow in a way where you will be able to keep the lifestyle that you enjoy throughout the changes that are coming. Now, the fourth reason why you would want to start a business in 2025 is simply that even though it may seem intimidating and, a lot of work and all of that, it may actually be a way for God to truly bless you. If you did not step out, you would not have the opportunity for Him to pour into you and use you as a vessel to grow and prosper. And why would you want to grow and prosper? So that you could increase your lifestyle and, live in luxury and be a big ego? No. You would do it to preserve life the way that you see that it's good, to take care of your family, to make a difference for good and help those who need help around you. If you have a business and God pours out through His blessing hand and lifts you up into a position, you can be the solution to so many other people's problems. You could be the one that is actually employing those who are stuck and cannot escape the universal basic income, for example. You could be the one to make sure that your family is fed and taken care of and have their freedom, the freedom to follow God and to live the life that you were meant to have and help those around you. If you can rise up to be that, imagine all the good things you can do, and that can only start if you believe in a dream that God has put in your heart and allow it as an opportunity to grow forth and to prosper. Now, that doesn't mean that anyone and everyone that starts a business will prosper. In fact, there's a great risk. And based on statistics, we know that about 90% of all that start a business will fail. They will, lay down the company and end it within a few years. So just remember, if you go into this, don't go all in and risk losing everything you got. Take a few steps. Don't risk your house. Don't spend tons of money, but spend some of your time and a decent amount, what you can afford to lose. Take some steps and see if God will bless it. Now, if this is relevant for you, you may also be interested in shifting your identity so that you will match up to the perspective and the determination and all the qualities that you need on the inside to be actually able to pull it through. And if that's for you, I have created a video for that, so you can look on the left side now. And with that, I just want to say be blessed, take care, and hope to see you soon again. Bye.